Hey, it's Matt. I'm back out here in South Dakota after spring break. Just got back today, and I came out here to set up my trap line. I'm also seeing a lot of snow geese, so that's a good sign. Show you what I have set up right now. Basically, I've just got, there's this dead tree here and this one here. And so what I did was I already tested it, so I know that the dirt's not gonna hinder the trap in any way, but I'm gonna sprinkle this dirt back over the trap that I dug out of that hole, and I've got it cabled to this tree right here. So hopefully any coyote that steps in it isn't big enough to pull it loose, because otherwise there'll be a coyote around here, running around out here with a spruce tree attached to his foot. Camp axe, I got a 22, I got some bait, I got some ribbon to mark it with. Hopefully nobody brings their dogs over here. That's why I'm really leery about using that coyote urine, because other dogs, like domestic dogs, will smell that too. So that kind of makes me nervous. I really hate to catch someone's dog in a trap. So, and one thing I don't have are the neoprene or plastic, whatever you want to call them, the gloves. I don't have those, which is better for keeping scent out of the area, because you don't want your scent on really anything. So I'm just wearing my regular horsehide gloves. I also don't have a sifter box, I couldn't get one. So I'm just going to kind of pick through this dirt and just kind of run through it real quick and make sure there's no big sticks or anything like that that could mess with the jaws of the trap. I'm going to take it and just kind of lightly sprinkle it so it doesn't just dump on the pedal and set the trap on. The trap is pretty well concealed, I think. Kind of spread this dirt around here. Now the bait I'm using are squirrels that I took from home, and the rule about South Dakota and just about any state is you can't leave your bait in open sight, because there's a lot of hawks and a lot of eagles out here. And I'd really hate to catch a bald eagle in one of my traps, because you go to prison for that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my squirrels. And I kind of want to, I'm going to put him in here. And the reason I'm doing this is this first tree right here, I'll show you again in a second, but this first tree right here was actually facing this way, and I spun it this way so I could attach to the trunk something a little bit heavier, and you know, a more solid grip. But the other thing is, it forms kind of like a funnel, the way it's set up like this. So I'm going to put a squirrel inside this tree here, so that the only way a coyote could reach it is if he comes around the front here and steps in that trap. I'm going to take, I'll show you, I'm going to set up here really quick. I'm going to take one of my squirrels. How's this guy? Now, I had them in the freezer last night, so they're frozen solid. I'll do this really carefully and try not to put a hand or a foot down inside that hole. Kind of up inside there, like this. So there's my squirrel. I'm going to cover it with some more leaves and stuff like that to keep eagles from being able to see it, because they have really good vision. So here's the theory, anyway. Oh, hang on. Snow geese. Right there. Anyways, so the theory is, coyote smells that squirrel, that rotting squirrel, and he goes in to get him. So he has to come around through here, and he walks into here to reach that squirrel, and puts his foot down in that trap. And hopefully we catch something. So I'm going to put some cover on that squirrel and then go and set up my other three. Alright, so I just picked out this spot and I got my second set pretty much done. I'm going to give you a look at it here. and point out a couple things that I didn't show you the last one that I did. This is what we're talking about here. Got this tree, got a couple of down ones around it. Then we got this hole in between them right here. What I did was dug my hole right there, put my trap in. It's not that far under the actual surface, so the ground looks more even when I cover it up. And I put my squirrel right inside there. So the coyote has to come through this opening right here, this opening that I'm standing in, and step on this trap here to be able to get the bait. So, those roots out of there, kind of make this look more natural. And then I'm going to cover up my chain right there. And I cabled it to this log right here, so I'm in this open kind of basin right here. So I'm hoping this is a good area to put these traps out. One more thing I definitely want to show you. You don't want to take a whole lot because coyotes can see this moving in the wind, but you want just enough so that it provides contrast so somebody walking through here knows, hey, there's a trap line here, don't step in this area. Here. So I got 2 more to set up, so let's get to it, I guess. Alright, so what I've got here is site 3. Got this nice big dead spruce right here. Huge one. And I was going to use one of my squirrels. I couldn't figure out how I was going to put bait in here and make it so that the dogs would come here. And so I kind of changed tactics and decided to use some of this urine instead. It's pretty solid, so what I'm going to do is sprinkle some scent right back in there behind those branches, and I'm going to put the trap right about here, and that's roughly where I'm going to bury it. So hopefully using the urine scent will work. So I've got my hole. Now what I'm going to do is set the actual trap itself. There. I'm going to put my feet on those little stirrups like that. And you still see it? Yeah. Here. What I'm going to do is open it. Very careful not to have my hands in there for any length of time, other than is absolutely necessary. Alright, so now I'm going to hold the trap around the hole and see if it's the right size for what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, that'll be perfect. So, take my dirt, sprinkle it on top. Nice thing about this spot right here is it's more out in the open, so there's not as many branches and, you know, bigger debris that could throw the trap off, or that could block the trap from fully closing. So just kind of sprinkle it around. Like I showed you before, grab some of this thin natural vegetation. Kind of spread it around so it looks a little bit more natural. I'm sure I'll make that mistake at some point. And then, I'm not sure how much to use, so I'm just going to so it does kind of dribble out. So get a couple drops in this area. Alright, so I'm going to give you a pan around of this area. I'm about 75 to 100 yards away from my second spot. And, oops, so this is kind of I'm still in that same basin, but this is the tree right here. The trap is right there. The scent is all over the place. And this is kind of what it looks like. The fact that it's really open like this with no real good choke points is kind of why I decided to use the scent instead of the bait, the squirrels. Plus that'll give me scent and bait that are out, so I can see which one works the best. So one more little trick I decided that I want to be sure to show. I've got this nifty little electronic device called a GPS, and I'm pretty familiar with this area, so I don't really necessarily need this, but what I can do is I can set a waypoint. I've got a Lowrance iFinder H2OC, so this is more of you can put a chip in this to be able to graph lakes, basically, and it's waterproof, which is really nice. It's an older one. My dad didn't need it anymore because he got a new one, so I said, oh, I'll take it off your hands. So I'm just going to set a waypoint right here. So now I have actually four waypoints right now set. I have one set for the parking lot, and then 2 or 3 for the traps that I've set out now, and then I'm going to set up one more. Oh, I can almost taste that coyote urine now. Oh, yeah. So I think I'm going to definitely want to finish up here really quick. I've got the parking lot and then 3 traps set as waypoints. So I'm just going to leave this bad boy on, so it's constantly updating my current position. And I'll go set up my final trap. Alright, now I just completed my 4th and final set. Since I had the 2 squirrels in it, I decided to use both of this trap, since I already shot 4 and I should use them. I don't want to just waste them, so. This is my final setup right here. This is big deadfall right here. Then there's a tree next to it. I have cabled to the tree right there. The trap is in there. Then I have put both of those squirrels inside of there, so from the air you can't see them, but the only way to get to them is to come right through here. So that's my final setup. So that's all 4 of my traps. I got them all marked on the GPS. So I guess we'll call it a day and come back in a day or 2 and see if I got anything.